All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, this was supposed to be the last update for 2023, but it is the first for 2024. But guess what? It's let's call it 2023 wrap up. All right, even though there's a few from January 1st, few articles from January 1st, so things are still good. I'm just gonna tell you I don't think they're going to move as fast as we want them to. Now, remind you, I'm still looking at April, especially with, you know what? I'm not even going to say. Well, let's see. There was someone high up in Hezbollah or Gaza. I don't know. I think they're one of the same. They just have different names. Um, I'll say this. He won't see tomorrow, right? Uh, can you figure out what I'm saying? I hope so. And that is going to lead to retaliation. They don't just give up and go, oh, you killed her. Oh, I just said the word I was trying not to say. Our leader's gone. We're going to just surrender to you. No, they don't do that. They're like, our leader's gone. Okay, so we're going to do double to you what you did to us, right? But anyway, so let me get all this stuff out of the way. This is my FX Buddies, the podcast. And even though I have the 2024 Happy New Year. Okay, got that out of the way. So see, it says here Monday, January 1st, but that's wrong. I was supposed to do this yesterday, but I had technical issues. I'm very thankful for YouTube. Because there was a person on there that gave me an easy fix to the problem I was having. So now we're doing this today, and I'll probably do another one tomorrow because I'm not going to be able to get to say everything I want to say here. Because I'm going to keep this under 30 minutes. All right. So, okay, myfxbuddies.pod. No, wait. myfxbuddies.blogspot.com and but my FX Buddies, if you just do an internet search for that, a whole bunch of stuff comes up. The Apple iPod thing, some other stuff comes up. But Spotify.com has a video, and then you can follow along in the video. Although I'm not really going to show too much, but it's good for people who like to see what I'm reading, right? So you can go to Spotify.com and search My FX Buddies, and that's there. And then I always put, RSS.com, R as in Robert, S as in Sam, S as in Sam.com. My FX Buddies there. They provide a transcript of what I say, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good transcript. So I think that's it. And of course, as always, for YouTube, Fair Use Disclaimer Act, everything that I cover, show, display is for critique, commentary, teaching, sharing, and is covered under Fair Use Disclaimer Act. All right, now we'll get into it. So I just want to say everything on Iraq's part is good except... you know what? I might get myself in trouble here. Not that one. I don't want to show there. Well, I'm not going to talk about it much anyway. But today, Sudani is decreeing, and I know I shouldn't say that. He's not a king, but executive ordering, okay, whatever. I don't know what they call it, but to me, it's might as well be a decree that all places must have the point of sale by mid-year. Okay, so remember they were supposed to have them all places were supposed to have them by, oh my gosh, um, whatever date that was, right? I don't even remember the date. I think it was June 1st. Was it not June 1st? Well, but so here we are. They still, I mean, and it is a huge task to get the whole country, every place that accepts money in the country to on those machines, right? So if you don't have them everywhere, then what is the consumer, citizen, whatever, supposed to do? How are they supposed to pay? Then you tell them, oh, you can't use dollars or you can go to jail for 5 years. Did I show you that? I don't know if I showed you that, but that is in writing. If they're caught using dollars, they could go to jail for 5 years. Um, okay, so yeah, that's not good. Um, or then the next thing they'll say is, well, you have your debit card or credit card, use your debit card. But the people, and you'll see there's really, really an emphasis on getting them. I mean, they say, stop using cash. We're going to go to the electronic payment. So let's get into it. Now, these are out of order, but so the title of this is Iran announces the start of settling its country's exports to Iraq in its national currency, the riyal. And look how it's spelled, Riyal. But everywhere else you look, it is Rial. Not that it's a big thing. Oh, no, it's not. Anyway, okay. Let me go back over here. So I just thought, I know the Saudi Riyal is spelled that way. So I just thought that was interesting. All right. So we're just going to go down here. So Iran announces the start. And that's good. I like that because that means they're going to be equal. Well, I feel that means, and that's what we hope, right? We've been told that the Iranian Riyal is in the basket, right? And it's going to, I'm sorry. Okay. Be close. Well, not close, but it's going to hugely, bigly change in value, right? And, well, how is that if it's not being used, right? But, so I think this is the first step. So, Iraq to Iran will be Iraqi dinar to Iranian riyal, no matter how you spell it, right? But also, in another, so there's two things that I've never seen this before. It doesn't mean that it wasn't already there. I just really haven't done a big study on the Iranian riyal. But they have a name for this. Look, Riyal Offshore Project. RIAL. There's Riyal spelled different than Riyals outside the borders. Merchants will be able to benefit from it instead of foreign currency. And for some reason, there's a focus on Afghanistan. I don't care. I think that's interesting as well, though, because some of us are expecting the Afghan to revalue also, which is crazy to me because right now they're being run by the Taliban. So why would we do anything to enrich a terrorist run country? I don't get it. But it doesn't matter what I get, right? But here you are. If they're exporting to Afghanistan, then I guess the next thing is they're going to be real to the Afghani, right? So that I've never seen that before, the Real Offshore Project. And then let's see. Oh, that's a new dog. I don't recognize that dog barking. Okay, so it's a different article, but keep that thought there. So then what I wanted to point out was it says the British report of whatever did not rule out that dollar smuggling operations would lead to the isolation and ban of more Iraqi banks because some of them contribute to violating international sanctions, noting that the recent U.S. Treasury decisions to impose a ban on a number of Iraqi banks, but remember that's past, and supposedly there's no restrictions on anything Iraqi, right? And oblige the rest to comply with the platform for monitoring the movement of electronic funds is what words are missing. They're telling us right there. There's the ellipsis. Is what? So there's more words there, but they took them out. It is only the beginning of more difficult, deeper, and more painful steps. So they're forcing Iran to do something it doesn't want to do, and that's why it's painful, because Iran would love to operate in the dollar, right? So I just thought that was interesting. Okay, I'm going to skip this for a minute. Then, and this, where's this other? Since I'm talking about Iran, I wanted to finish up with them. But looks like I'm going to have to move on. Yeah. Just bear with me. I know there's dead air. Association banks. Oh, is this it? Iran is beginning to settle exports to Iraq in the riyal. So this was all over their news. Also, it was in Iran's news and Iraq's news over the weekend. Vision partnerships. Here, I think this is it. That looks like the same one. Yep, and it is. But anyway, so here, so I'll try to remember to go delete that. Anyway, Iran and Iraq discuss using the Isomer platform to finance the two countries' trade. So this Isomer platform may be something that already exists, and maybe they're adding Iraq and Iran to it so they can work together. I don't know. It's interesting though, and maybe I'll have time to go look that up. But look at this. Asian Clearing Union, ACU, confirmed the adoptions of the currencies of yuan, ruble, and rupee at the development of an electronic platform to carry out commercial transactions between member states independently of the dollar and the SWIFT association. So they're going around SWIFT to use this system, this ACU system, to process their monies to each other. And isn't that interesting? The rupee and the yuan are going through getting accepted and getting not funded but supplied in Iraq, right? So this opens up money movement to Iran, but still not in the dollar. It seems by way of commerce, they could begin to get rupee and yuan flowing through their economy, right? So that's interesting. But here, okay, so also then here, this platform, it says a new platform will be launched called Estimer. So it's either I or E or both, just because it's English it's Arabic being translated by artificial intelligence. And it's similar to the local spam, isn't that funny? Spam platform for electronic and financial transactions. So these are, again, new things, right? Haven't happened before. So it's forward movement, and it it slows things down, but that's what some of them are complaining, because we are so opposite of heaven bent on keeping Iran from getting dollars. We're making Iraq go through all these changes, right? But in essence, I think it's good. We need Iraq to get off the dollar so their currency can be strong, right? And then by that, there's domino things that will happen, which will be more use of these other currencies, which, yes, may take away from the dollar, but it is what it is, right? Okay, so that's that. Plus, to go with that, there's lots of articles about them building up security on the borders between Iraq and Iran, and, just things like that that we don't have time to talk about. Because look, we've already been here 16 minutes. Okay, now, this article right here is in a publication called antiwar.com. I don't know, it's probably just a very professional looking blog, but they've been around for a while. They use red, white, and blue in some of their not artwork, but whatever, images, whatever. So the reason that I want to bring this to your attention, and not a lot of people talk about, and this is one of the, not worries that I have, but it's an observation. And this is why I say we could be here till April, right? Because of what's going on in ice cream land and pizza land, right? So there's a whole article. It's really not that long of an article, and you may want to go check it out. Maybe not. If al-Sudani tries to expel foreign forces from his country, Washington could make things difficult for him. The U.S. has leverage over Iraq because since the 2003 invasion, the country's foreign reserves have been held by the U.S. Federal Reserve, giving Washington control over Baghdad's dollar supply and the ability to devalue the Iraqi dinar. Also, the ability to revalue it, right? But the U.S. also keeps tight control over Iraq's ability to pay its neighbor Iran for much needed electricity. So, carrot and stick. We control Iraq's money, and right now, they're opposite us, right? In this pizza land, ice cream land issue. Someone gave me a better word. Conflict. Conflict. And that's why I'm saying we could very well be, they want to come out, and they are. Iraq is being very supportive. They're sending goods. They're sending physical aid. I don't think they've sent money to that area, but definitely I think they're on their 9th or 10th mission of sending aid. So I believe that if we weren't holding their money, they would make more stronger. That's terrible grammar. They would be more boisterous about the situation that is going on. But because they are beholden to us in more ways than one, we're still possibly we're not going to revalue your money if you keep making these statements about supporting the other side, right? I fully believe that's happening. I can't prove it, but I'm not alone, right? Here this guy is who's a professional, whatever he is. He knows way more than I do, and he's observing the same thing I am. No one wants to say it, but it is what it is. And that's why I don't just say, oh, we're going to possibly be here till April for no reason. I have things that I read and see that go behind it. Okay, so that's that. But everything else is good. And look at this. CXI has opened a foreign currency exchange at Philadelphia International Airport. And there it is. It's all nice and new, and you can read this article if you want. And if you're in the Philadelphia area, maybe you could go there. I don't know. But you could read it. I think it tells where it's located and all of that. So we're running out of time, but just to show you, there's a lot of articles still. We will reach the official price of the dollar soon. And look at our beautiful $100 bill there. Oh, and another thing that I thought was strange, I don't remember if I said this here. If I said it and I'm being repetitive, I apologize. But 12:04, midnight 04, my time, articles start coming out in Iraq about the dollar, where they can go get it, who's eligible to get it. And I'm like, really? I wanted to see articles saying, don't remember, you're supposed to use the dinar now. But nope, it was mostly about the dollar. But here they were running this in social media, the exchange rate, the Sudani advisor. I think this is the mouthpiece guy, the speaker guy. The exchange rate of the dollar against the Iraqi dinar will reach the official rate soon. So this was interesting. Demands to provide point-of-sale devices in public places before citizens are forced to use them. So, and it says here, electronic cards when shopping. Oh, they're trying to get the point-of-sale machines everywhere to make them accessible to citizens for use with the electronic cards when shopping and paying instead of cash. And here they expect every oil, gas station for early next year, which is this year, because this is an article from December, to abandon cash and adopt electronic payment and filling stations. So see, they're not being shy about it. The dollar continues to submit to the Iraqi dinar. However, I just checked their closing rate. It is down to 1515, so 1,515 dinars per dollar. But it's not. It had gotten down to 1487. Now it's back to the 15 numbers, but they're low 15s. So yeah. All right. Let's see. But also, here was an article identifying two phenomena behind exchange rate depreciation. That's the dollar. And it was saying that the dollar will decline and it will continue until next week. That's this week. Oh, and here's my one commercial. If you need some extra money, click this image below. But there's some information here that I'm not going to go over. But it's referral fees. It's not a business. You're not selling anything. It's very easy. It's legitimate. I've been doing it. Lots of people that I know have been doing it. Just sharing information. And the person you share it with gets a fee and you get a referral fee. All right. Then they had the most important economic events in Iraq for the year 2023. This list was so long, I even deleted anything that was related to agriculture. I just was like, no, we don't need to read that. But this was good for people who, even the citizens, if the citizens were like, oh, nothing's changing, here's a nice succinct list of things they did throughout 2023. In oil, in finance, I think is another. Yeah, finance, commerce. Yeah, and then there was agriculture. And it doesn't go too much into detail, just a nice list. But if you have people who don't believe, right, you can say, here, look at this. Okay, so unfortunately, we're talking about 2024 budget. but it's not, they don't have to go through the whole thing of the multiple votes and the passing. It's already passed and in effect. They announced over the weekend, I forget, Saturday or Sunday, that it's already in effect. But they need to make changes, and actually, is this one? Here, yeah, Parliament is awaiting the 2024 budget schedules, preparing for major changes in numbers. And some people are going to go and pick those numbers apart. Even if it is a rate, even if they are going to change the rate, they're not going to tell us. Trust me, they're not. But there were some numbers of oil products, oil derivatives, all that stuff that my head is like, woo. But I know it's important because it's important to the Kurds, right? So, and they're already working on that now, but that won't hold up anything. So, and Parliament comes back on July 9th. Here is 1,000 companies from 21 countries will participate in the Baghdad International Fair. There's also talk of a Baghdad conference. I'm at this point, I think they're two different events, but I'm not certain. But this one they're really talking about this. It's the 47th one. It's going to be January 10th through the 19th. And they're putting a lot of money in this one. And you would think they would want the revalue to happen by then, and they'd have their right rate and their new money. But I don't think it's going to be the case. Woo! All right. So here it says the number of participating countries reached 21 countries, while the number of participating companies is approximately 1,000 companies, considering it a qualitative leap when compared to the exhibitions that were held during the past years. So the opening night will be very dramatic and full of all the, if you've ever been to an opening event of anything, it comes with lots of smaltz. I can't think of another word. And glamour and, lights, cameras, all that stuff, right? Okay. This was good. The Americans were surprised by rapid economic steps, and the government's relationship with the factions are good. Yeah, I don't think we want them relating well with factions, but we have no choice. They're a country that needs to get along, right? So here's some things. The citizens began to feel the work that the government is doing. The battle with the dollar is nearing the end. There is no economic American blockade on Iraq. These are just some statements. I think this guy was being interviewed. Yeah, and it's the media advisor. There we go. Media advisor, and that's him. I don't know how to say his name, but I recognize his name when I see it. He was interviewed, and these were some of the positive things he said. The market for speculators has become very limited. We will reach the official price of the dollar soon. Yeah, so they're working on trying to get rid of the forces. Good luck with that. Okay, let's see. Here is the Association of Private Banks. Remember, they were in trouble because everyone was saying it's them. They're the one causing the problem because they're not on the SWIFT Federal Reserve U.S. Treasury system. And then they were like, all right, we'll get on it. And so now they're best buddies. So they're expecting the exchange rate of the dollar, right, to decline. And they're getting on they especially want to transition from the cash economy to the digital economy through the development and deployment of electronic payment devices in directions that achieve the fourth global revolution by moving to a cashless society. which is not good. And then there's some more stuff, but we're pretty much at 30 minutes. There it is, 30 minutes. So here is the Kurdish news was also saying in 2024 we're going to dollar transactions. And then here, okay, yes, I already went through that. And yeah, we're pretty much done. So as always, I recommend you come to the blog and you read these articles for yourself. So we're all done with 2023. And oh, here is, I don't know if I talked about this. Okay, this was kind of a big deal. It was on TV and everything. Sudani excludes a famous cafe in Baghdad from electronic payment. Well, hello. You just said everywhere is supposed to be on the electronic payment. Why do they get a pass? So are they only going to take dinar or are they going to take dollar? So, and he hand wrote the note. That was what made it so significant. I don't know what it says. Probably all these words up here. But yeah, they made a big deal about that. So, okay. Here, oh, here's another person. Oh no, this is, these people, either Hezbollah, whatever their little name is, right? The resistance will continue targeting American bases until the war on, oops, I shouldn't even said that word, but the conflict in pizza land and ice cream land is stopped. And true to form, they have been dropping nice little presents, right? On the bases, but no one's been hurt, although I think some Iraqi soldiers got hurt, but we'll talk about that tomorrow. So far, as of January 1st, 2024, they had knocked down some drones, prevented the projectiles from hitting their targets. Jesus, it's kind of hard to think on the fly about these extra words that I should use. Okay, yeah, all right. So here's another article that's good, but I will just skip over it. They listed 7 advantages of electronic payments. Yeah, right. Okay, so we're done. That's the last article. Oh, and this is interesting too. The Jordan Kuwait Bank, so it's a Jordan Kuwait collab, right? Buys 60% of the shares of the Bank of Baghdad and begins its structure. So it's very short, 3-sentence article. So they're amending its structure. For what? So, and then also some people are upset because they don't want foreign owned, they don't want foreign owners of Iraqi banks, which, kind of makes sense, right? But yeah, so I'll be interested to see what more comes of this. But yeah. All right. So again, the blog is, well, I'll put a link anywhere that you access the podcast. There's a link in the description box, I guess, to the blog, and then you could go see these wonderful articles for yourself. Again, everything's good. Iraq is doing everything they're supposed to do. So we just wait. Well, actually, tomorrow, January 3rd, is holiday. And then January 6th is a holiday in Iraq, right? So, yeah, we just wait to see what happens. And thank you for listening. Accumulate while we wait for the rate to appreciate. Don't miss any mails and pay all your bills. Until next time.